Hello, and welcome to my guide on how I killed Diablo with my Demon Hunter on Hell mode. In this video, I will be going over my build that I used, show my abilities used in the fight, and give some tips and tricks that I noticed while fighting Diablo on Hell difficulty. Here is the build that I used. Smokescreen is an essential tool for a Demon Hunter because the stealth negates most damage from enemies, and it has a drop in threat. Enemies will not attack you in stealth, so this is a great ability to use when you need to gain better position or put out heavy damage. Smokescreen should always be used if Diablo gets in melee range, and is a necessary ability to kill your clone. Vault is an escape ability in this fight, and should be used to escape Diablo when he comes in close contact, and if you don't have enough discipline for Smokescreen. Fan of Knives with the rune to have it stun is extremely important for a couple of reasons. The knives are able to stun Diablo and should be used if you do not have enough discipline to Smokescreen. This pairs well with Vault if you use the Fan of Knives to stun and then vault away. Fan of Knives is also essential to stun your clone if you do not burst it down quick enough when you use stealth. Fan of Knives is also a high damaging ability and should be used to kill your clone. Rain of Vengeance is a very useful ability and should be used on cooldown if possible. While I use the Dark Cloud rune on the Diablo fight, I highly recommend the Flying Strike rune if you are level 60. While Dark Cloud does do a decent amount of damage to burst down your clone, Flying Strike has more utility with the chance to stun Diablo or your clone multiple times while doing a considerable amount of damage. Hungering Arrow is the primary attack that I used with the Spray of Teeth rune to have a chance of doing massive damage to Diablo and being able to kill my clone quickly if I'd get the critical strike chance with the AoE that happens from the critical strike. The most important ability that should be used is Elemental Arrow with the Nether Tentacles rune. From what I've experienced, Elemental Arrow does the most damage out of all Demon Hunter auto attacks, and with the Nether Tentacles rune, not only will you be doing 155% weapon damage, you will also be getting healed for 3% of the damage done to enemies. Diablo is a 3-phase fight, with 2 phases taking place in the normal realm, and 1 phase taking place in the terror realm. The first attack you will probably see in this fight is a single fireball that is shot at your current target location. If this fireball hits you, it will then open into a large AoE circle that hits very hard. This is easily avoidable by Vault, but it is just as easy to sidestep if you see the animation Diablo makes before he throws his attack. This occurs in all 3 phases. Diablo will often blink during this fight. Smokescreen should be used to avoid any auto attacks he may try to hit. This occurs in all 3 phases. Diablo has 2 damage over time effects in this fight. The first one is a poison that ticks for moderate damage. This is easily able to be healed through with health regen and lifesteal from auto attacks with your Nether Tentacles. The second one is a fire dot effect that ticks for moderate damage and then explodes to deal massive damage when the dot falls off. This ability is very similar to a Fire Mage's Living Bomb in World of Warcraft. Smokescreen should stop the damage from both of the dots while you are stealthed, and Smokescreen will avoid the damage from the fire explosion. As far as I know, this occurs in all 3 phases. One of the most annoying abilities in this fight is the cage. At random times in the fight, Diablo will summon black pools on the ground which will then encase you if you are standing in the pool for too long. If you get caught in a cage, consider yourself dead and be prepared to start over. Rarely do you live from this because if you get caught, Diablo will pick you up and do massive damage in a short amount of time. If you do live, you should be spamming your buttons for Smokescreen to ignore further damage when you are released, and use a health potion to survive with some health. Avoid the cages at all costs. This occurs in all 3 phases. Diablo has a fire missile attack that releases several fireballs in all directions of Diablo. The fireballs spread out the further they fly and are very easy to avoid. Smokescreen negates damage from the fireballs. The fireballs will also diminish if they hit a wall, hit a crystal in the middle of the room, or hit a healing well. This occurs in phase 1 and 3 only. In the realm of terror, Diablo will summon a clone of yourself and then he disappears. Diablo will not return until your clone is killed. Make sure you burst down your clone quickly before it kills you. This occurs in phase 2 only. Similar to Belial, Diablo has a breath attack that moves about 180 degrees and is a high damage dealing ability. Smokescreen avoids all of the damage from this ability. This occurs in Phase 3 only. That is all the insight that I can offer for this encounter on Hell difficulty. Shortly there will be a clip of my actual kill on Diablo. A few things I'd like to point out is notice how I'm trying to keep a crystal in between myself and Diablo in Phase 1 and 3. This is key to get off most of your damage while avoiding most of his. When the transition cinematics pop up, I let them play not because I want to watch them, but because I want to have full health, hatred, and discipline along with all of my cooldowns when I get out of the cinematic. If you know you have everything ready to go and you're ready to kill him, just go ahead and skip it if you feel the need to. I hope you found this guide helpful, and please feel free to leave comments below on how I could improve on future guides that I will make for Diablo 3. Good luck on your future fights with Diablo, and enjoy the kill while you can.
Enough! Let us see how you fare in my realm of terror. Only by defeating us can you return to your own realm. But none have ever crawled from the depths of their own terror. Can you feel your death approaching?
Still waiting.
Can you feel your death approaching? How does it feel knowing you have failed those who depended on you? You shall never wake from this nightmare. How does it feel knowing you have failed those who depended on you? You shall never wake from this nightmare.
That would not be wise.
You cannot defeat your own terror. How tastes your fear, Neverland? No! This wretched light must be eradicated! you have ever loved shall die along with you, Nephilim.
Not enough hatred. I need more hatred to do that.